thickens in the Kobbie Mainoo contract saga. He isn't going to sign for Manchester United. He is reportedly going to reject any offer that comes his way from Manchester United. He wants to move abroad. All of that story, all of your thoughts on that story, and what looks like the tightest poll in terms of Kobbie Mainoo valuation I've ever seen. We've got 4 options in the poll. Get involved in it right now in the live chat if you are live. Please subscribe if you haven't already so you can get your thoughts in the live chat. We're going to bring all of them up on the show tonight because this is a big one. Kobbie Mainoo, if he doesn't sign, how much is he worth? That poll is up and running. I'm going to run it the entire show. Let's see. If you feel like Kobbie Mainoo is worth 40 million, all the way up to 70 million plus, where are you at? Because this is dividing opinion like I've never seen before. I warned you all. Prepare yourself for a summer of player unrest and fan favourite players leaving Manchester United. This was always on the cards, and I think right now the agent situation with Kobbie Mainoo and the situation that has bubbled up because of the talks and them leaking out to the media things that are going on at the football club is deliberately trying to end Kobbie Mainoo's time at Manchester United. I've said before my piece on Kobbie Mainoo and where I think it's the agent coming out. If they are now leaking more stuff and he's happy for them to leak more stuff through his agent and say that he is going to reject Manchester United's offer, honestly, I think he is just turning the tide of this whole fan base right now. In a world where you have got everything that's going on at this football club that is not good right now, and one of your homegrown players who has played the least near enough out of every first team player in this squad over the last 2 seasons is wanting out because he isn't getting enough money. Seriously, we're going to go through all of that. So we're going to go through a lot of Ruben Amorim's press conference ahead of the Arsenal game. Really interesting updates from Ruben Amorim in that press conference as to who might feature in that game on Sunday and who might be back before the end of the season. It's a little bit of a surprise and a trick one for you there as well, unless you've already listened to it. But hey, I'm going to cover it here, and I've got all the best bits from the press conference to bring you later on in the show as well. But we are starting with Kobbie. Kobbie Mainoo is set to reject Manchester United's new contract offer no matter what it is. He wants a move abroad. I'm going to read into these stories, and now I'll bring you up the headlines from what has been said. It is The Guardian that has broke the news earlier on, and everybody is running with the same thing. It says Kobbie Mainoo is planning to reject the offer of a new contract at Manchester United and seek a move abroad. Manchester United would be open to selling Mainoo, who is valued at about 70 million, but still believe he could agree to improved terms. Don't buckle, is my opinion straight away. Sling your hook, see you later. Honestly, that's where I'm at with anyone. I've said this before with any player in this squad right now. None of them are worth anywhere near the contracts that their agents are trying to demand right now. I would say goodbye. That is literally where I'm at right now. A move to another Premier League club is not in Kobbie Mainoo's plans, despite interest from Chelsea. Kobbie Mainoo's representatives want a salary that reflects his role in the team. Manchester United believe he could still accept an offer, even though no agreement has been reached after lengthy negotiations. Lengthy negotiations is the key in all of this. This has been going on for a very, very long time. We knew at the turn of the year they were talking to Kobbie Mainoo and Amad Diallo in particular. Amad took preference because he was running out of time on his contract. We got that all signed, sealed and delivered. Obviously that happened at the turn of the year. And we're now nearly 3 months on. Nothing more from Kobbie Mainoo, and the talks have continued. It doesn't look like Kobbie's going to get his way at Manchester United. I mean, when you're looking at Kobbie's situation right now, I don't think he's even a guaranteed starter in Manchester United's side. Why are Manchester United wasting money? And why are they going to offer him even more? They're going to upset the rest of the football team. They're going to upset the squad. They're going to get Garnacho then putting his tuppence in, saying he wants more. He should be on more than 50 grand a week. These players have achieved absolutely jack shit at this football club. They don't deserve anything right now in terms of extensions and more money at all. Not a bean, in my opinion. That is where this team is at. Every single one of them. You have all contributed to the worst ever Manchester United Premier League team in the club's history. Just let that settle in and then start negotiating what you want It is ridiculous how United are even entertaining it in the first place, in my opinion. But Kobbie coming out now and reportedly coming out saying that is it. He wants to move abroad. Like I said, reportedly. But no smoke without fire. This is the second story within the space of a week around Kobbie's contract situation. United are putting fires out. I think they're putting fires out with a bleeding hose pipe. And it's being lit up by the agents and everybody else around Kobbie Mainoo. And it's out of control right now for Manchester United. It's out in the open. There's nothing they can do about it. Kobbie Mainoo wants out of Manchester United. And I think we have to just let him. Go and sell him. Get that 100% profit. Rebuild this team for Ruben Amorim. I've said it before. Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo are not starting 11 players for Ruben Amorim. If he gets a few players in this summer, they are not going to be starting. Their heads have been turned. Their agents have been looking. I think everything that's happened under Ruben Amorim, all of the unrest, and let's be honest, Kobbie Mainoo has done absolutely naff all this season. He's been absolutely shit, really, when you compare to last season. And I'm only using last season's brilliant season for him as comparison. I wanted them levels and some more this season from him, and he's been nowhere near. He's been like every other player in this squad. Shite. So if he wants away from Manchester United after everything that Ruben's implemented and put in place at the football club, then see you later. We needed Ruben to come in and ruffle the feathers. We needed Ruben to come in and just throw in that stick of dynamite into the fire that was already burning at Manchester United and see who survives. Are you tough enough to handle what Ruben wants? Are you ready to commit to what Ruben wants in his system and the work rate and the way that his whole philosophy works around the pitch? I don't think many of them are, and we are really sieving out the crap right now. And I'm not saying I think that's wrong actually when we're referencing Kobbie Mainoo, because I don't think he's crap. I think he's got the capabilities of being a fantastic player, but his agent's talking out of his arse basically. That's where this is at. His agent is talking complete and utter bull. And there's no way that Kobbie Mainoo is worth over 10 million a year right now, having not completed a full season yet. And he's only been in the Premier League and around United for 2 seasons, for God's sake. This is where United are going wrong. It's always been where United are going wrong. And do you know what? If they stand firm and Kobbie walks away, I'll stand up and I'll fucking applaud it. Honestly, I'm sick to death of these players thinking they can do what they want at this football club while everything else is going on around them. Their inability to actually realise what is going on around this club right now. And the manager's called them out. Whether or not they've seen their ass because he's called them the worst team in the world, we all think you're the worst fucking team in the world as well. So don't think that because you're coming out in public that you're going to get any affection from the fan base. It's not going to work. Honestly, they live in an absolute bubble world, these agents of these players, thinking that they can come out and say things like this because Kobbie is a homegrown player. He's loved by the United fan base. Yes, he is. But nobody's losing sleep if he's sold for 70 million. And someone is going to have to bid serious money to take Kobbie Mainoo off Man United's hands. So let's just look at that. I just feel like it's just going beyond ridiculous when it comes to what players are demanding these days. And at United, I just think that they can do what they want. It still looks like they can do whatever they want and just say whatever they want to say. It's like Garnacho's attitude on the pitch. Not me. No, surely not me. This is a disgrace. This guy's not fit enough to manage. Oh yeah, I want 180 grand a week now because I've played half a season. F off. I'm sick to death of it. Honestly, it is where Manchester United used to be. And thank God the club have actually started to grow a pair and stand up to these players. Because the inmates are no longer running the asylum, I'm afraid. And that's what it has been for a decade. And the circus is about to draw. That's what's happening right now. Stop this absolute carnage of how a football club is run and the embarrassment that Manchester United are right now. And let's make a stand against these players. Let's bring in the players. Like we said this morning, even if it's Jean-Philippe Mateta from Crystal Palace. That video that came out earlier on, the response to that I have been absolutely staggered by. Go watch that video afterwards. You've seen the news circulating today. Even Simon Stone's come out from the BBC and said United are targeting Jean-Philippe Mateta. 1 year left on his contract after this season finishes. That's the type of player United need to be looking at right now. If Kobbie thinks he can play at the top level, good on him. Go for it, Kobbie lad. I wish you all the best in the future. You have been ill-advised, and unfortunately you fell into that trap, which is the one that every single player at United falls into these days, which is, we could just get what we want. The Murto, Arnold and Woodward days are over at Manchester United. No more big contracts. People are losing their jobs, and you're demanding 10 million a year for doing nothing. That's what it is. It's nothing. You have done nothing. You achieved absolutely jack shit. You can call your FA Cup all you want. Well played last season. That was a stepping stone, and the first step that you needed to make to then get anywhere near the negotiation table to get a new deal at Manchester United. Bang, I got a trophy. Give me 10 mil a year. Sling you up. That's what happens. And that's what needs to happen at this football club from now on. What an absolute joke. Let's get into the comments section. We have over 1,000 in the room already. Thank you, everybody. Make sure that you get your comments in. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can get into the live chat. And let's get cracking with some of these. We have a couple of super chats. First off, to get through, I've come from Red Baron. Thank you, my man. For all the infuriable people who say, well, it's a short-term career. What, he says with a question mark? Are they banned from looking for work after football or something? He also comes back and says, Messi and Ronaldo both had the mentality and talent. Yeah, they did. They did. The best of the best had the talent. The best of the best earn the wages. The best of the best warrant their massive contracts. And by the way, the poll that I said I was running from the start on Kobbie Mainoo, the poll, just so you would know exactly, if you're catching up later and you wanted to know, get your comments in as well if you are playing catch up later on from the live show. If Kobbie Mainoo won't sign a new deal, how much could we sell him for? 40, 50, 60 or 70 mil plus? Right now, 70 mil plus is scraping it at 29%. To 60 mil at 26%, 50 mil 23%, and 40 mil 22%. That there shows me exactly where this fan base is at in terms of the talent that we've got in Kobbie Mainoo. There's a big chunk of people there, and this is nearly over half of the vote, that don't think he's worth more than 50 million. And that's saying something, because that's coming from a majority of United fans as well. Creeping up to 1,000 votes on that. Keep that going. I'm going to keep that going, everybody. So make sure that you do get your votes in on that one. Kobbie Mainoo, what is he worth to Manchester United if we sell him this summer? There is a load of people in the chat on this topic. I am going to get into as many as I possibly can. Apologies if I don't get to you. I've got a night off tonight from training, so if you want to drop your comments in after the live's finished, I'll try and get back to a few of them as well, so get your comments in. Everything regarding Kobbie, sorry. AK the legend. What's up with your voice, Adam? It seems to sound a bit shaky recently. I hope you're well, my friend. Yeah, I'm okay. Doctor's orders. I'm trying to rest my voice. I'm not doing as much just to keep it in tow. And yeah, it is a little bit raspy at the moment. So yeah, there won't be any watch along on football talks tomorrow, by the way, people, because I'm trying to rest it ready for Sunday. And the nightmare that's coming, which is Arsenal. Big Bad Phil in the chat says, I bust my ass at work every day. I haven't taken a salary for 2 years and still work harder than these idiots even have done. I'm so sick of the ego and the demands. That's it. That's exactly where I think everybody's looking at this right now. Good point. Good joke. Good joke. Good comment. Club's a joke. We need to support the protest. Yeah, we've got more on that from Ruben coming up in this show as well. I've got the clip from the press conference where he's actually talking about the protests in a bit of detail as well. So stay tuned for that. That is coming in this show as well. Gareth says 400 plus members of staff are cut at United, and Mainoo wants that sort of money. Good luck if he can get it somewhere else, but things have changed, not just at United, but the frigging country too. Well said, Gareth, on that one. I think that's hit the nail right on the head there. Plenty young, talented, young central midfielders in the Championship. Hackney, Rigg, Bellingham, etc. United looking at all of them players as well, Danny. Good points. They would bust a gut for Ruben Amorim, no doubt. It's these self-centred, overpaid, overprivileged young players at Manchester United that are the issue at this football club, and that is driven by their agents. absolutely drilled into them that they are superstars, that they are not. They have done nothing, absolutely nothing, to convince anyone in this fan base, anyone at United, anyone in world football that they earn that money. Just to break it down, Bruno Guimaraes, Alexander Isak at Newcastle, just bringing up them as examples right now. They're not even anywhere near that sort of money, and they are absolutely bombing up and down that pitch, week in, week out, for Eddie Howe. So that just puts it all into perspective in terms of what other players are on. What has Kobbie Mainoo done in his career? Get out, Kobbie. You will regret your decision when you find your brain, says SS. Isn't Mainoo an English international? This is just an excuse to sell him, and Adam falling for it to stop the shilling for Inos. Shut up, Brett. Like, seriously? No, you've got a player asking for 180 grand a week. English player? Yeah, no. Literally, Manchester United have brought Ruben Amorim in. He's not using him. He doesn't get into the team even when he's fit, guaranteed. And he wants 180 grand a week. Forget your Ineos-driven crap and try and come at me with something like that. Look at the reality of the situation and answer this question. Falling for jack shit, mate, is the answer to your question. But you answer mine. Has Kobbie Mainoo earned 10 million a year in half a season at Manchester United? Simple facts. Simple question. Answer that one. Boxing says, Adam, we cannot just buy kids. We need some proper serious players that are proven in the Prem at ages 26 to 29. Mateta, I did talk about him as well, mate. Kobbie is best midfielder on the planet right now. He should be awarded the contract. I think that has to be sarcasm, surely. Surely no one can think that. Alexis McAllister at Liverpool, 120 grand a week. He's deluded. Mainoo has let it all go to his head. See him doing Nike ads more than on the pitch. For God's sake, 180k. Get out of here. Can you imagine what Sir Alex Ferguson would have said if Kobbie Mainoo came in and asked for 180 grand a week, having been at the club for less than, let's be honest, less than a season, because that's what it's going to accumulate to by the time that Kobbie gets back from injury, even if he plays out the rest of the games. Update on the injuries coming up from Ruben again. We have got 200 likes in the bag already. That is mega. Thank you, everybody. Keep them likes coming in. Keep your comments coming in. What has Mainoo done? Question mark. The kid hasn't played a full season. Most 100k per week. Not even that for me. Like, after what he said, honestly, he's not said anything, but his agent said it. For me, I think get in line with Garnacho. He should be on around about 50 grand. That's what he needs to be on now. And I've changed my mind from that previous one. I'm probably more riled up that he's actually come in and just had the balls to actually say it's going to be rejected. He's set to reject Manchester United. Honestly, the brass on... It's crazy, isn't it? Andrew says, Anthony, right on. It would be a real reality check if they had to get a real job. Yeah, it would. Silverback says he would be laughed at. He would have... we would have laughed at him and told him where to go. Right, in terms of Sir Alex, yes. I wondered who you was alluding to there, mate. Obviously, my Sir Alex one. Red Baron again. Thank you, mate. 200k is more like Champions League or Premier League winners' wages. Yes, it is. It is. You look at Liverpool's players and what they're on. That should tell you everything you need to know. Look how hard they work. It is incomparable to what Manchester United have got in their team right now. And it is... I feel embarrassed. I really do feel embarrassed as a Manchester United fan at the moment. The way these players are acting, the demands that they are putting onto the football club, with everything that's going on. It's like, if I'm going to stay here in this shit that I've created, by the way, you're going to have to pay me a fortune. Simple as. Wow. The agent wants him out, says Nick. Could be the case. He could be driving this thinking that there is a better deal for him abroad, and he could get a real lucrative contract there. Liverpool only have 4 players on more than 150 grand a week. They are a title contenders / winners. United are 14th. It's laughable. It's a good point again. Like, using Liverpool as the example is going to embarrass any football club in this league. It's embarrassing. I said it before. Look, Kobbie Mainoo deserves more than 20 grand a week. Fair dues. But 160 grand more a week? Come on, seriously. But that is where Manchester United are at right now. That's what we're dealing with in terms of prima donna players who feel like they have already made it at this football club. Bat says, here's one. You don't think Inos have released this story knowing the fan base would be incensed, so they have the green light to sell him, do you? Just a thought, guys. Maybe they have. Does that change your mind about Kobbie Mainoo wanting 180 grand a week? Yeah, they can leak the story, and that could play into their hands in terms of selling him, balancing the books, giving Ruben Amorim some money. But it still doesn't take away the fact that Kobbie Mainoo wants 180 grand a week wages. Whether they've leaked it out or not, and that's fair or not, that's what he's asking for. And I think that's what we're talking about more. There is a side story and a subplot to it, like you said, with Inos, and they could be trying to push these young academy players out. Ruben, honestly though, he's tried to use these players. They haven't worked for him. The form has got worse. And I'm really concerned that this season is going to end up being in fact, it will be the worst that we've ever seen. There's no doubt about it. And these players still feel like they are going to now start working under Ruben Amorim all of a sudden because they've got more money. Don't talk shit, honestly. Yeah, I've got 180 grand a week now, so now I'm going to start playing really well, and you'll see a difference in me. It won't happen. It won't happen. It's the same thing when someone said to me the other day, he needs to adapt to these players now. He needs to salvage this season. Yeah, because that's going to make them players change in the summer. And they're going to start playing Ruben Amorim football in the summer. No, I think he's right in what he's done, Ruben Amorim. And he's outed absolutely every single one of these players. All that needs to happen is something big in the summer. Maybe this is the catalyst for it. Maybe this is where something big does happen in the summer for Manchester United now and Ruben Amorim, because we are going to get the money in for these players because they don't want to stay at the club. Someone will buy Kobbie Mainoo. Someone will buy Garnacho, Rashford, Antony. By the way, Antony, we talked about this the other day. Manchester United need to sell Antony for around about 33 million to break even on the PSR finances. So again, like, if he continues, he got another assist last night as well. You've got him, you've got Rashford doing well. If Garnacho goes, he goes. Kobbie Mainoo. All of a sudden, Manchester United's PSR situation becomes a very, very tasty one in terms of what we can spend this summer. And if half of the players that have failed us and produced the worst ever Premier League performance for Manchester United are going and funding new players to come in that are going to work harder for Ruben Amorim, then every single Manchester United fan should be on board with this. Because that's what we're crying out for, isn't it? Yeah, we don't want to be selling our homegrown players all the time, but when they've got the attitude that they've got, then I don't think anyone's got any issues at all with what is going on at this football club right now in selling these players. Greedy agents destroying this young lad's career. It's irresponsible. They'll never see it like that, mate. Honestly, Dan, they'll never see it like that, the agents. They just look at what the player is. They'll look at the Nike deals like someone else said then in the comment section, the endorsements, how much he's worth. He's played for England. Yeah, so is Solanke. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. He's not an England regular. He's not a Manchester United regular. Not anymore, he isn't. And that counts for half of his time at Manchester United, now being at Ruben Amorim, under Ruben Amorim. Again, like, absolutely baffled by it, really am. Loving the comments coming in, though. There is a great variety of opinions on this subject, actually. So keep them coming in, everyone. I think it's going to be interesting to see where we're at with that poll by the end of it as well. Cheers for all the super chats as well, Red Baron as well. Keep your comments coming in. Make sure you have liked the video, everybody. Just to update you on the poll, we are creeping up to 1,100 votes on the poll right now. 40, 50, 60 or 70 million plus valuation for Kobbie Mainoo. It's gone in the order of lowest to most expensive. 21% say 40, 24% say 50 million, 26% say 60 million, and 28% say 70 million plus. It is tight. There is now a percent in 60 and 70 million. See, we're stuck. We don't actually know how much he's worth, and that tells you exactly where we are at as a fan base, like I said before, in terms of the quality of him. Baby Sadoff ain't worth 60k a week. Overrated, says 7-inch Destroyer. Cheers for the super chat on that one, mate. Random Island says that we have a big summer of transfers, especially players out. Hopefully we can get a couple of big names to sign for us, but being realistic, who wants to be at a bottom half team player? That's the sell, isn't it? Oh, non-sell in reality. Like you said it there, United's targets have to be slightly younger players or Premier League proven players, but not of the top category. Maybe a Mateta comes into United for 3 or 4 years and gives us that option and gives us that little bit of an edge for maybe younger strikers coming through. Maybe that is it. Makash says, has Mainoo actually said this? It sounds like spin and distraction. He's going to be playing soon. Let's see what effort he puts in. No, it's his agent running it. Everything is always the agents. They'll hide behind them agents, but they are the words of the player through the agents. Yes, maybe the club's leaked it. 2 different leaks have come out now. There've been talks going on for over 4 months right now, and it's at loggerheads. It does look like it has ended in a negative outcome in terms of Kobbie Mainoo and what he wants from United. They won't pay him them wages. There's not a chance that they will pay him any higher than Amad Diallo or Lenny Yoro for that matter. You've got Garnacho on 50 grand a week. You've got Lenny Yoro on 115 grand a week and Amad on 120 grand a week. Kobbie Mainoo feels like he is 40 grand a week more than what Amad is right now. Are you on something? Or whatever you're smoking, Mainoo's agent, seriously, send some out, because it's on a different planet to everything else in terms of normality and reality right now. You got Roz with a chat, says, been a terrible year for Garnacho and Mainoo development-wise. Lost a lot of ground on both of them. Yep. Markesh again says, Amorim may have said you don't fit in my plans. Mainoo doesn't have the legs, so this may be playing into unrest to get good prices. I don't care what it is. At the end of the day, Manchester United have got some big calls to make for Ruben Amorim in the summer, and that's it. That's it. That's all that matters. That is all that matters. Dan says, people saying Mainoo isn't worth 60 million are crazy. He's not the finished article. He's great young prospect and people buy potential. Kobbie, what have you done to deserve 180 grand a week, it says. This whole squad has been a joke and these players have the nerve to ask for more money. Absolute donkeys. Yeah, it is donkeys, isn't it? Andreas Stanson, thank you for the super chat, my friend. He says, for the money we'd get and them wage demands could get a much better player. And Mainoo lacks pace anyway. Sell him, use the money to buy Edison. See, that's the point there. It's like, it's all right selling him. And this is the other side of this argument. I don't think you can get an Edison. How are you supposed to attract a player in if we ain't got Champions League football? That's situation. I guarantee it'd be interesting because someone did just say, and I do apologise for not bringing up your name. Someone did just say, let's see what happens when he comes back and he starts playing. It's a good point because if he comes back and plays well, helps Manchester United get into the Champions League, does that change the environment around the wage structure again? Or do Inos still stay tight-wadded and say no to these players wanting stupid money? All these players then could go to the club and say, well, we just contributed in getting this team and club back into the Champions League. I know it sounds crazy them saying it because we're having our worst ever Premier League season in history, but we are in the Champions League. That's if we win it, of course, the Europa League. They will always have that. It's like, well, what do you want? Like, we're in the Champions League. That's all you wanted at the end of this season, and we've got it. And they'll have that bargaining chip. So let's see. Maybe the club has said to them, look, all right then, we'll give you 180 grand a week wages if you get us into the Champions League by winning the Europa League. So let's see some more effort. Guaranteed he won't. Guaranteed he won't still. It's all about them. Always will be. Always has been. Always will be. Over 300 likes. Thank you, everybody, so much. I did say, and I did promise you, I will keep you up to date with what is happening with Ruben Amorim and what he's been saying ahead of this game. I'm going to come back to Mainoo in a bit. We've still got plenty of time yet, everybody, but just for the sake of variety, I do want to bring up the other news as well and what's actually happening. Ruben Amorim was talking ahead of the Arsenal game, and these are the main points from that press conference. I'm just going to leave you with this now. Keep your comments coming in as well on all of the Kobbie Mainoo stuff as well. But this is Ruben Amorim talking about the possibility of maybe some players coming back who might play in the Arsenal game, the protest this weekend, and everything else going on ahead of it. His old time at United as well. Interesting listen, this one. So listen into this.
With team news, any chance Harry or Manuel can make Sunday, do you think, for Arsenal?
I don't know. We need to survive Sunday. The team was so tired in the last 20 minutes, and we have to prepare Sunday and then think about this important game for our season. Everybody can start. If they are training tomorrow, if they play today, they can be ready. And Chido is on the list, so he can play.
Hi, Ruben. Are you expecting to have anyone back available for this match?
I don't know. I don't think so. So we'll see.
Have you ever had to deal with such issues in your career? I mean, you've obviously had to play a second half against Ipswich with 10 men, went 120 minutes, you've had to come here. Have you ever had to experience anything like this?
Guys, I'll be ready for everything after this season, so it's a good thing. No, I think it's for everybody in our club is a really tough moment. It's everything at the same time. The only thing I can do and our players can do is perform well and win. People have the right to protest. I think it's a good thing to do that. It's part of our club. Everybody has a voice. But our job, my job, is just to improve the team, give them something in this moment because they deserve it and they are amazing.
Sorry, Ruben. I think we asked you about 2 weeks ago about Mason Mount and Luke Shaw. Do you think we'll see them again this season? And are there any other players apart from Lissandro and Ahmad who you think we won't see again this season?
No. I think it's just Ahmad, and even Ahmad we'll see in the end of the last month. It could be. I don't want to say nothing but I have the hope to have Ahmad before. We'll see. Lissandro is out. Kobbie can return. Kobbie and the rest is. Why we have to be careful. Manu will be return. I think Luke Shaw and Mason Mount can return also. We'll see.
If you reach the final, hopefully Ahmad possibly will go about.
Let's talk about Sunday. We'll see. But they definitely are going to return, especially Mason Mount.
Covered quite a bit there. Thanks for tuning in and obviously staying with us. We've wanted to bring you some Ruben Amorim press conference coverage as well as the Kobbie Mainoo news tonight. So I'm going to get back into the comment section in just a moment there. But literally just from that press conference there, he's talking about everyone who's available for this weekend. Looks like Manuel Ugarte and Chido will definitely have a chance. Survival mode, he says. The players look knackered the last 20 minutes of that game against Sociedad. Are we expecting anybody else back this season? He talked about Mason Mount coming back, Ahmad being available, and someone joking, if we get to the Europa League final, will Ahmad be there starring for Manchester United? That would be a big turnaround in Man United season, wouldn't it, if that actually happened? But no, in terms of all that, I think he's trying to be positive. He didn't say with any conviction that Mason Mount and Luke Shaw and Ahmad would be back. He's hoping, he feels like Ahmad could be back in May, which is great news for Manchester United. That would be excellent for us to have the quality of Ahmad back for the last running of the season. But will it actually count for anything? Will we be out of anything by the time that comes around for Ahmad? And obviously the protest as well. Talking about the protest, everyone deserves the right to protest. So Ruben actually bigging up and backing the protest, saying the fans need to have a voice. Everyone should have a voice at this football club. That's what's important. And I think that there is going to go down well with the fan base, that Ruben understands this club as well. And I think this weekend is going to be quite big for Ruben Amorim, quite big for Manchester United. He said he's just going to do what he can on the pitch and try and give the fans something to cheer about leaving the stadium after the game against Arsenal, which I think he's right in what he says. Thank you for the gifted membership, London. I love that. Thank you. Also, another super chat in from Gaz Wilson says, you realise that you're a fool if you think he is worth 70 plus million but not 180 a week. What? What player? What player are you signing for 70 million and not paying that a week? We're not signing anyone for 70 million. We're signing them in instalments, I think, more than anything, mate. Cheers for the super chat. 180 grand a week. Well, United bought Manuel Ugarte for what? 40 or just under 50 million. He's not on anywhere near that money. Lenny Yoro, we bought 50 odd million. He's not near anywhere that money, Manchester United will buy players, and 70 million will go a long way in terms of instalments and things like that, and the wages will have to fit in to that. Obviously, if United get cheaper transfer fees, then he can balance the wages out a bit, but it depends who they go for. And like we've said before, the realistic targets right now for Manchester United are the lesser players, and I don't mean that in any disrespect. Instead of the Edisons, you might get a Rig. Instead of the Gyökeres, you might get a Mateta. You might get a Diblin instead of a let's just think of another quality 10. There's plenty of them out there anyway, but look, we were looking at Kvaratskhelia, weren't we, in terms of Manchester United looking to make a deal or something along the lines. You look where he's gone at PSG. That's a different planet to Manchester United's football right now. That they're on a different stratosphere. Manchester United need to look where they are now. First things first, let's get top half of the table. Then let's look at maybe European places, as in top 6. Then let's maybe attack the top 4, and then maybe start challenging. And then maybe after we've challenged, we can probably win. That's 5 years down the line that I've just described there for Manchester United. It starts with a big summer. We do need to actually make a mark this summer, and that starts with selling some big name players. And it just looks like Manchester United have got their first one on the block, which is Kobbie Mainoo, going off what the story is from The Guardian today. If you have just joined us, of which plenty of people have just done, we're going through the news which has broke from The Guardian today about Kobbie Mainoo not accepting a Manchester United contract extension. In fact, he's going to reject any offer that comes his way. He wants a move abroad, apparently, according to the reports from The Guardian. That is where he's at. He doesn't want to move to a Premier League club. He does want to move abroad. So when you look at it, what have we got? Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid. I can't see him going to Italy. There must be something in the offing. I don't see how he fits into Real Madrid. Barcelona, would he get in that midfield? Possibly. Bayern Munich, maybe, with Kimmich going. There's all sorts of different situations, permutations, everything like that creeping into the creeping into this deal right now. If he does go, I don't know which team abroad is actually going to buy Kobbie Mainoo. I don't. And if he wants first team football, all of them teams that I've just mentioned there, I don't think he gets straight into their team either. Just saying, that's my opinion on it. Kobbie wants a move away and knows his demands that won't be met. Maybe DSR, maybe he's pushing the move himself. Thank you for the gifted membership, Andy. Love that. That's gone to Wob Philip Worrell. Great names again. Richard says, surprised that Kobbie really thought he wanted to be a long-time Manchester United player. Do they exist anymore? I think with PSR, you're taking away the one-club man now. Anyone who comes through the academy is going to be eventually sold simply to make money for football clubs. The clubs aren't allowed to do what they want to anymore, so they have to fall into PSR rules, which takes away that homegrown player and someone being at the club his whole career. Them days are gone. There's no one with, you could say, loyalty, longevity, anything like that. I think that's where we're at. By the way, 1,500 votes almost in on the poll for Kobbie Mainoo's value if we sold him this summer. 40, 50, 60 or 70 million plus. And it is still 70 million plus, winning at just 28% to 26% of you saying 60 million. Tight vote. Still 22% of you are saying he's only worth 40 million, which is interesting again. That I feel is definitely telling when it comes to where people think his qualities are as well. And that's what I mean by going to these big clubs. Who is going to buy him? Who has got 70 million to buy Kobbie Mainoo right now that hasn't already got tons of players in that same position and role? And I'm talking about the big clubs. Like, where does he fit in? There's no guarantee for him anywhere. Is he jumping the gun a little bit here? It's going to be interesting. If he doesn't want to move away into the Premier League, which I thought was the only way he was going to move personally, then I don't know where he fits in anywhere else. We're almost at 400 live likes, everybody. Thank you so much. Keep them coming in, everyone. I really appreciate that. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel as well. We're on the road to 75k, everybody. Spirit of Lakota says Mateta is all muscle, 100% passion, thinks of players in better positions to score and great with the fans. Reminds me of a Yaya Toure without the baby Where's my birthday cake? Tantrums. Oh, right, got you. Right. Well, without the baby, where's my birthday cake tantrums? Mateta's a good player, and I've said this in the video earlier on. Go watch that back if you haven't already after this show finishes. I've said it all along. He's better than what we've got in that front line by 100% better. United Spotlight says 70 million for Mainoo. What are people smoking tonight? He's nowhere near worth that. Yep. I think a lot of people are on that train as well with Kobbie Mainoo tonight. I really don't think he is worth that amount of money. There is potential and someone will spend money on him. It'd be really interesting to see if this does actually develop further now and he does go. Really intrigued to see what someone would buy Kobbie Mainoo for and what they rate him at. Because there's a lot of people that don't really rate Kobbie Mainoo at all. And then there's people that believe he is the talent and he has got a higher ceiling than everybody else. And I think he is that player. I do think he has got a high ceiling. He really does. I don't think he's going to find it at Man United, though. I really don't think he's going to find what he wants at Manchester United. Not under Ruben Amorim anyway. Definitely not. But that, just to go over everything again, headline news is that Kobbie Mainoo is reportedly going to reject any further offer of a contract extension from Manchester United. He wants to move abroad, doesn't want to move to a Premier League club. Manchester United are still hoping he will sign the new deal on reduced terms to what he wants, which is 180 grand a week. Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim talking ahead of the Arsenal game, say that Chido is available to play. Ugarte might be back. Harry Maguire we have to be very careful with. We may see Ahmad Amount this season again yet. He has talked about that. He is behind the protest and thinks that every single Manchester United fan should have a voice. Everyone at Manchester United should have a voice, Ruben Amorim says. So that's gone down well as well. And obviously, he is worrying right now about the fitness of his squad, saying that we're in survival mode because everybody's knackered. The last 20 minutes, we look dead on our feet against Sociedad. I agree with that, but still, we have to do something. Arsenal have had 2 more days preparation for this and haven't got the injuries that we have got. And that, I feel, is a worrying sign for every single Manchester United fan. But that pretty much sums up our show, everybody. All that's left for me to say is thank you so much. Cheers for all of the super chats, all of the new members, anyone who is newly subscribed to the channel. Welcome along to Forever United TV, everybody. Get your comments in below. Talk to me about all the subjects we have spoken about in the show. And I will catch you all first thing in the morning. 8 o'clock for your Saturday morning update ahead of the weekend. And what has come through the tabloids tonight. We'll be covering all of that first thing. And I'll see you all then later. Have a great evening. The weekend is here. Big game for United this weekend against Arsenal. What have we got in store for us this weekend? We can only pray. Kobbie, if you want that money, sling your hook. That's what I say. You're definitely not worth that. Agent is killing it for you. Cheers, everyone.